Hello YouTube, we are Critical Failure, back at it again with another video. I am Brandon Wynn.
I am Edward Burns.
And we are talking about the Order of the Profane Soul for the Blood Hunter today. Now, please explain what this class does. Or archetype, sorry.
Basically, you enter a pack like a Warlock. You get the Warlock's pact casting, which is where you have a certain level of spell, so you cast at a certain level of power, and then you regain your usage at a short rest. And you have a selection to choose from for your pack. You have the Archfey, Fiend, the Great Old One. You have the Celestial, the Undying, and the Hexblade.
Yeah. Honestly, to what it seems like from this class, the Hexblade does not seem like the best.
I personally don't like the Hexblade very much. I think it's like beginning ability is the weakest. When at your third level, you get right focus, and basically you get to use your Crimson Right weapon as your spell focus.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Because we focus on spell focuses.
For the Archfey, you ignore some of like partial cover. You still can't get past like total cover, but if you also hit a creature that's invisible, it loses that until the end of your next turn. The Fiend, you basically get a reroll on your Crimson Right damage if it's like 1 and if it's fire.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah, the Great Old One, I like this one. You basically, if you score critical hit on a creature, it has to beat your DC, or else it's frightened of you for till the end of your turn.
I like that one.
Your next turn. Undying is my favorite though, because this is the one where if you kill a creature, you regain hit points equal to your Crimson Right die, which I find very cool. Celestial is also pretty good in my opinion. You burn your use of your blood curses, and you use double your Crimson Right die plus your Wisdom modifier to regain health or heal an ally in 60 feet. Hexblade, this is the one I don't really like because you have to use a blood curse in the first place, and then you have just a slight chance of getting a better critical at like 19 through 20.
Yeah, which really is not very useful in our opinions.
Yeah, so I don't really like it very much. At 7th level, you gain Mystic Frenzy, which is the one where you can cast a cantrip and then you can make a weapon attack as a bonus action.
Yeah, and you know me, and for our campaigns, mostly for mine, like I would usually allow cantrips to be a bonus action. But with how Wesley really messed that up, I might have it.
That really got my hand.
Yeah, I might make it to where it's you have to do action then bonus action, because the way he would do is just bonus action, and it would just royally just benefit him.
It was also
it was
really bad because resistance all the time.
Yeah, it was just like no one's gonna want to do anything to you except I would. If I'm correct, he would have to speak. So if I did like anything that muted him, he'd be just open fire. Plus, he had like the heaviest, like the best AC, so it's already like hard to hit him.
Yeah, that's the way he built his character.
Yeah, power builder. Let's continue.
Next thing, you also gain this at 7th level. It's called Reveal Arcana. This also deals with the pack you chosen. Starting with the Archfey, you gain the ability to cast Blur once using a Profane Soul slot, and you can't do so again until you use a long rest. Next one is the Fiend. You can cast Scorching Rays, same thing as last time. Great Old One, you can cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
And for the Undying, you can cast Blindness and Deafness, which I think would be really cool and really useful.
Yeah, like that's really useful for against most magic users.
Yes.
Because a lot of them have to do hand, mouth, and auditory senses.
Well, it's just useful in general because, like, if a creature can't see you, just wail on him.
Disadvantage.
And if it's in, like, darkness, like if you're working with a warlock who casts darkness and can see through magical darkness...
You don't have that issue if you're a late level blood hunter. You can see through magical darkness.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. It's literally the size of the darkness. It's 30 feet.
Celestial, you can cast Lesser Restoration.
That's really useful.
Mm-hmm. And then Hexblade, you can cast Branding Smite.
When you really want to hurt someone.
Yeah, I want to hit you really hard.
That was Hexblade, right?
Yes.
Still not worth it. Not for that first one.
The next one is Diabolical Channel.
Okay.
This one, you can basically store a spell into your weapon, so it's automatically hit when you hit someone with your weapon, and it can be a concentration spell or whatever.
So you're telling me if I magically could get like a fireball, that would be hella damage.
That would also hurt yourself, because you'd be
Oh
caught
yeah,
in
you would be in
radius.
the. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Do some infamous like one level type of like thunderstorm damage.
And if you have advantage on the attack, they have disadvantage on like the save against your spell.
That's really nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think this one's cool. I'd probably like write my weapon before combat and just like, this is the spell I want.
Basically, what we would do.
Yeah,
It's just immediately you would write.
that's what you have to do in the first place.
Yeah.
It has to have a casting time of 1 action though, so it kind of limits.
Yeah, if you get slowed, have fun with that because that takes almost another action. Just, like you start it and then the next action is when it's done.
Unsealed Arcana also has to deal with what you chose as your patron. Starting with the Archfey, you can cast slow.
I was just talking about that.
And unlike the one before, this is without burning up your spell slot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really nice.
But it still takes a long rest. For the Fiend, Firewall, like you mentioned earlier.
When you really want to hurt the other person, but you're not afraid of dying.
Great Old One has my favorite, Haste. Haste is always great.
When you really want to hurt someone really, really quickly, but after a few rounds, you are out for a round?
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes, and then I think you get exhaustion or something. But you get like an extra action and a +2 to your AC and advantage on deck saves, I think.
That's really useful.
Undying gets Bestow Curse. Celestial gets Revivify.
That's
and
that could have been useful for Mollymawk.
Yeah, or if they had a cleric. I don't know what level they are in the party.
They're not that high. They're like
Are they
level 5, yeah.
Yeah, they could have saved them.
You know what's funny? Their only cleric was not there. I'm going to tell you that straight. You knew about Mollymawk's death, but you don't know what happened to the cleric.
Yeah, I watched the episode where he died. I didn't watch the episode like beforehand, though.
Yeah, they're not all there. We all know how Ashley Johnson left.
And for Hexblade, you have Blink as the spell you get.
That reminds me of a thing that Ford did, because he used Blink and he would just point, and he would be talking. He's like, I need you guys. And then he would pop back in like halfway through the sentence later, and I really like that idea. Like, just idea. I found it really funny.
Your final ability in this class is called Soul Siphon. And basically, it has to be a monster or whatever of a challenge rating 15 or higher. And if you kill it, you automatically regain 1 of your spell slots.
And how many maximum spell slots do you get? I think it's like only 2 or 3.
Yeah, you gain 2 4th level spells. Originally, it was 3 4th level spells, but I think that was an error in terms of the scaling of how Warlock spells is.
Isn't it 4th casting or something like that? Or is it... I don't remember. I don't know it.
I think it's like 1/4.
That's
or 1/3.
Really, really bad.
Yeah, I'm already like really iffy on like Warlock casting in general.
Yeah, I know. Like, you don't really like thinking about being a Warlock as it is.
I like playing Warlocks. I just don't like
the casting.
Yeah. So we homebrew that. You can burn up your hit dice to restore your spell slots.
Yeah. Even though we can literally short rest in like maybe 10 minutes, which we don't even really count.
Like,
it's just,
I think an hour or 2 though in like base game.
Yeah, base game it's an hour. And then it's 8 hours for a long rest. But for us, it's like 10-minute short rest, an hour long for long. And even then, it's just tedious because we're always like... Because I found out that you can only do a long rest once per. And we didn't know this, but honestly, I would just...
Well, it doesn't make much sense if you do like normal and it's like 8 hours. Like, oh, I'm going to take like 2 long rests.
Yeah, that's kind of... Also, your character would have to be, in my opinion, essentially asleep.
Yeah.
But let's continue.
That's actually it.
Really?
That was the final thing for this class.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah.
See, I don't really like the Profane Soul. Yeah, anything?
Profane Soul is generally my favorite because, you get access to spells and stuff.
That's surprising.
But like I said, I believe the Blood Hunter should have already had access to spellcasting.
Yeah, I really think that if they were to make that, they would make it more like full caster of some sort.
No, I think what they should have done is made the Blood Hunter a half caster.
Well,
They could have
yeah.
kept the Warlock spellcasting table, because I feel like it would fit. You know, you'd have like 5th level spells.
The reason why I was going along with what I was saying was that you could make it to where it's a half caster, and then this one specifically goes into the full caster ability to where it's like that's all they really do. So they lose second attack and all that jazz, so they're more like spellcaster.
More like Warlock.
Whatever.
Or, well, also like Cleric.
Yeah, I was thinking more Cleric than anything.
You know, the warrior, like, spellcasters.
Yeah. But
I think that's it for this video, though.
Yeah. That's it, guys. We're going to come back to you later today because it's like 4 o'clock over where we are. With another video on the Order of the Mutant, if I'm correct.
Yes. Which I don't think any of us have ever played on our group.
I was going to try to.
Yeah.
Because that's very much The Witcher.
Yeah. You never did.
Yeah, I never did because we never understood it. But don't forget to like and subscribe to us as we're going to bring you more content. Don't be afraid to comment on anything that you guys want. Visit us on our Instagram page. It is critical.failure. Do you have anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right, guys. See ya.